Hola, welcome back to Nourished Sundays. I'm your host Joanna, certified in holistic nutrition from the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition and very passionate about finding easily applicable tips to make your life better through the food you eat. And this is what this series is all about, decoding what healthy eating may mean to you and your family in a world where we get so much information that is oftentimes conflicting with what we heard yesterday. And it gets more complicated when you have little ones to feed who may well be picky eaters. So I'm hoping to make things a bit easier and more applicable to you through this series. Today's topic is PMS, premenstrual syndrome, and ways to holistically relieve some of those very unpleasant symptoms and hopefully feel better and get over those unpleasant days or even weeks. So I want to give you 6 tips today. Number 1 is to drink plenty of water and good quality water. If you are not too sure what that means, I encourage you to check the video on water that is posted in the series as well. It explains to you why quality is very important, as or even more important than quantity. I mean, as important, they're both. You need a lot of water, but the quality of it makes a huge difference. So making sure to drink plenty of water, and it can be in the form of teas as well, as long as it's caffeine free, and freshly pressed juices or things like that. Also, adds to your water content. Number 2 is to focus on eating leafy greens. I know you may be like craving all the processed foods, the delicious industrial chips or cookies or whatever, which is very common at that time. But if you focus on eating leafy greens, which include kale, Swiss chard, those are very, very rich in iron and B vitamins, which help tremendously when you're suffering from PMS. The vitamins B are so very important, and we often lack of them in our modern lifestyle. So a nice way to eat leafy greens, if you're a bit scared or disgusted by them, is to slightly saute them with a little bit of olive oil. So not too high temperature, just saute them for like 1 minute or less on a pan with some finely chopped onions, and then sprinkle a little bit of garlic on it, fresh garlic, finely chopped too, and some nice spices. You can even I like to add the Montreal steak spice, like the one that's supposed to be for steak, for meat, but it has like salt and pepper, and it just adds that taste, and you feel like you're eating meat. And if you're having a hard time enjoying leafy greens, that's an easy way to try them and to enjoy them, to get a good taste out of them, and then it's going to motivate you to have more. Number 3 is to snack on nuts, and specifically raw, unprocessed, unsalted nuts. Those are amazing sources of omega-3, which is a healthy fatty acid. And those, omega-3 are very important in our hormonal regulation, amongst other things. So super duper important, especially at that time of the month. And it, helps tremendously with alleviating unpleasant symptoms. Plus, it fills you up, so then you're not tempted to reach for the highly processed, sugar high cookies or whatever you want to eat when you're experiencing PMS. And I mean, in my case, I find that is actually, out of those tips I'm giving you, that's the one that makes the biggest difference for me. So I find that if I reach to nuts and I'm snacking on nuts, I mean, I do regularly, but particularly in that premenstrual phase, like a week or 10 days before, and then I consciously focus on eating more nuts, or even unconsciously. Sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing it, and then I don't experience those unpleasant symptoms, and it's amazing. It just really makes a huge difference to me. So if there's one thing to take out, I would recommend to at least do this one to help feel better. Number 4, limit salt and sugar, and that's what we're craving for. But those cause bloating. It cause swollen symptoms, tender breast. All of that are caused by highly salty or sugary food. And they also, studies have shown that salt and sugar can disrupt our estrogen regulation. And as you know, as women, estrogen is very important to our reproductive health and our just hormonal health, generally speaking. And number 5, indulge on low impact exercise. Didn't see that one coming. So anything like, dancing, but like just, kind of casual dancing, yoga, and other practices like meditation, stretching. They really help to get us in a calmer pace, to reduce stress, and to support our metabolism better. And when that is happening, then our bodies can do what it does best, which is healing itself. But when we're adding all those sense stressors from day-to-day life and not moving our bodies enough, then it's not helping alleviating unpleasant symptoms. So highly recommend, even if it's just like kitchen dancing, doing a few stretches before you go to sleep, doing a few deep breaths to calm your mind, really makes a difference. And if you can have more of a regular practice, then go for it. But again, low impact. You don't want to overdo things, because actually like high impact exercise adds stress to your body. And last but not least, magnesium. One of the main reasons you may be craving chocolate is actually because you are craving magnesium. Your body wants the magnesium, and the way it's telling you is like, reach for the chocolate, because chocolate, especially dark, unsweetened chocolate, has a lot of magnesium. But you need to be mindful to combine it well with calcium, because those two work together. So you don't want to have too much of one, like in the right ratio, which is 1/2 to 1. And those two work together in terms of muscle relaxation and stress relief. So calcium helps contract muscles, and magnesium helps to release it. So it alleviates that cramping sensation, breast tenderness, all of it. Magnesium really helps with it, and we are often lacking it really, really much. So important to focus on food that has magnesium, or high quality vitamin, multivitamin that has a good ratio of magnesium and calcium for your continued health, and especially to help alleviate those unpleasant PMS times. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. In the meantime, eat well and be well.